Hello, everyone. Once again, we are here at the end of another month, and this time we're at the end of the year. So, Happy New Year, Happy 2025. Wishing you all a healthy and prosperous 2025. I hope you've all had a great holiday season and have an opportunity to spend it with those you love. I love this time of year because of all the traditions, and maybe sometime I'll do a video on some of my family traditions around the holidays. But let's get into the numbers for Winter Haven, Florida for November 2024. This is your December market update. So November 2024, we saw 87 closed sales in Winter Haven compared to 49 a year ago. That's an increase of 77.6%. Cash sales as a percentage of closed sales, 14.9% of all sales were cash sales compared to 32.7% a year ago. That's a decrease of 54.4%. The median sales price in Winter Haven, $289,000. That's compared to $312,000 a year ago. That's a decrease of 7.4%. The average sales price, $301,111 compared to $297,357 a year ago. That's actually an increase of 1.3%, but overall, home prices in Winter Haven did go down this month over last year. Median percent of original list price, sellers are receiving 95.3% of list price compared to 96.4% a year ago. That's a decrease of 1.1%. The median time to contract, so how long is it taking to technically to get your home under contract, 44 days compared to 42 days a year ago, an increase of 44.8%, so not much difference there. Median time to sale, 81 days to get to closing compared to 83 days a year ago, a decrease of 2.4%. New pending sales, 101 new pending sales compared to 70 a year ago, an increase of 44.3%. New listings, 113 new listings compared to 104 a year ago, an increase of 8.7%. Pending inventory, 104 homes pending compared to 102 a year ago, an increase of 2%. And then active inventory, 407 homes active in Winter Haven compared to 335 a year ago. That's an increase of 21.5%. And finally, month supply of inventory, we have 4.8 months supply of inventory compared to 4.5 months of inventory a year ago. That's an increase of 6.7%. Tune in and we'll talk a little bit about what we expect for 2025's real estate market. So 2024 was, for the most part, a pretty challenging year for the real estate market here locally. The biggest impact on the real estate market was interest rates. They went from over 7%, I think, even to almost 8%. They did get down to close to 6%, and then unfortunately they went back up to 7%, which is where they are now, just over 7%. So that was the biggest driver of our real estate market. But in Central Florida and in the state of Florida overall, we also had several hurricanes to deal with, including back-to-back hurricanes in October that, for our area here in Polk County and Winter Haven, were direct hits. And so definitely had some impact here. Especially Milton with a direct hit and some damage, significant damage in some areas. And so we also lost an entire month pretty much of closed sales in October. We had a national election, and people always wait in presidential election years. And then we got into the holiday season. So it's been a challenging year for the real estate market overall. The reality is, though, people need to buy and sell in every market. There's certain things that happen, right? People get promotions or new job opportunities, and that happens regardless of what's happening with the real estate market. People have babies, people get married, people get divorced, people pass away, people get sick. All of those are reasons why people might need to buy or sell. And those things happen regardless of what's happening with the real estate market. So the reality is that if you find yourself in one of those situations, you may not have the luxury of making a decision on what to do with your house based on what's happening in the real estate market. But what you do need to know is what's happening in the market to know how it's going to impact your decision to purchase or to sell a home. What I expect in 2025 for our area is a couple things. it's obviously going to be driven by what happens with the mortgage rate. And everyone expects that the mortgage rate is going to go down. Hopefully it will get back to around 6. I do think that's kind of the sweet spot where we'll start to see a lot of buyers come back into the market and things will pick up. But I think it's going to take a good portion of the year for it to get down to that level. It might even drop below 6 if we're lucky. But it's probably not going to go much lower than that. For those of you who persist in waiting for 2.5% or 3% to come back, you missed your chance. That was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that came about because of the pandemic. Hopefully we're not having any more pandemics anytime soon. And even if we do, there's no guarantee the government will respond the same way. Because part of why we have such high inflation is because of such low rates during the pandemic. The market was flooded with cash, and when that happens, prices go up. And so I do think even if there were to be another pandemic, I'm not sure the response from the government would be the same. And so the impact on the economy might be different. And I do think that the likelihood of us ever seeing 2.5% or 3% mortgage rates again is probably slim to none. So if you're waiting for that, I guess you're going to be a lifetime renter because that is probably not going to happen. What you really need to be looking for is rates in the 5s or 6s, which historically are still really good mortgage rates. So if you can get lucky enough to get something in the 5s, great. But I think if you can get something around 6, that's definitely probably as good as it's going to get for a very long time. If you're selling, one of the things you've got to keep in mind is that people are still looking for move-in ready homes. So do as much as you can to have your home move-in ready. Be prepared to negotiate. We are not in an extreme seller's market anymore where you can name your price. Buyers have a lot of negotiating power because there aren't as many of them out there. Now, as the rates decrease, which is why mortgage rates are important to you as a seller, as rates decrease, more buyers will come to the market, and so your bargaining position as a seller may actually increase. It's good to pay attention to what is happening with months of supply of inventory. And in Polk County, depending on where you look in Polk County, it's very different. Countywide, I think I said we're at 4.9% or 4.9 months. Winter Haven's at 4.8. But if you look at Davenport and Kissimmee, condos and townhouses, it's a 12 months of inventory. So they're not only not in a seller's market, they're in an extreme buyer's market. So if you're selling up there, and especially if it's a townhome or a condo, you need to understand that you can't shoot for the top of the market, or you're going to sit and sit and sit. You need to price aggressively to attract buyers to make your home stand out over all of the other homes, the 12 months worth of inventory of homes that are in the market in that area for townhomes and condos. Also, if you're a seller, you need to be patient. It is taking longer to sell homes because buyers can be pickier. They can look longer, they can look at more homes, and they can take longer to make their decision. So you've just got to have patience. If there's a price you really need to have, then you got to have even more patience. But I would go into this market being willing to negotiate, maybe offer some closing cost incentives, rate buy downs, things like that to make your home more attractive to potential buyers out there. Most of all, because the market is somewhat volatile right now, you need to have a good real estate professional that knows the market, knows what's happening, knows how to read the statistics, understands what it means to help advise you whether you're buying or selling. If you find yourself in that situation, you're here in Central Florida, I hope you'll consider reaching out to me. I would love to help you. Remember, I always try to make sure I put my clients' interests ahead of my own. I believe in karma, and I believe that if I take good care of my clients, in the end they'll take good care of me, and I'll be able to make a living and provide for my family, and at the same time be able to look in the mirror and be able to sleep at night. And so I really prioritize being an advisor to you rather than being a salesperson. So if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell in Central Florida, please reach out to me. As one of my clients said, remember, you can't miss with Chris. And I look forward to more videos this year. I'm going to try to do 2 a week. Tuesdays is going to be one of my release days, and probably Thursdays, but I haven't decided on the second video release day. But look for more content from me. Encourage your friends and family to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, everyone, and again, have a happy and prosperous new year.